Talk about a crusher. Yes! Oh!
Are you kidding me?
And gone!
Welcome back to the Schoolyard Sports Lane Frank podcast. Almost this podcast, Lane Frank. We're now on episode number 48, everybody. Yes, we're 48 episodes through, and there's so much discussed in this action-packed episode. NFL Week 1 wrapped up, everybody. College Football Week 2 wrapped up, and that MLB playoff race is underway, and so much more. Stay tuned for Schoolyard Sports Lane Frank, episode number 48. Let's hop into it. Now, let's start with episode number 48, how we always do with their headlines. In the NFL, everybody, we have so much news in the NFL after week 1, everybody. Okay, but I want to start off with Ryan Fitzpatrick, okay, because he is out 6 to 8 weeks, and there was so much news. Cam Newton, sign Cam Newton, you got Taylor Heineke, he could be good. You know what I'm thinking? Robert Griffin III, okay, was the backup quarterback for the Baltimore Ravens last year, past couple seasons. Okay, used to be the quarterback of the Washington Redskins, as everybody knows. Former Heisman Trophy winner, currently in ESPN right now. But he's going for that job. He says he wants that job. I think Robert Griffin III deserves that job over Taylor Heineke. No disrespect to Taylor Heineke, but I don't trust Taylor Heineke. Okay, great long shot story. Okay, almost came back against the Bucs, so won the Super Bowl in the playoffs. Almost beat the Panthers, but he has no wins. He had no wins last season. I was like, he didn't start a whole game at all. But just interesting thing to think about. Okay, I don't think Taylor Heineke can be the starting quarterback of the team. I think maybe it can be Cam Newton. I'm not sure if Ron Rivera wants to trust Cam Newton. I don't think Ron Rivera wants to go another area with Cam Newton. I don't think he wants to go another stint with Cam Newton as a starting quarterback. And I don't think Washington wants that. I don't think Dan Snyder should sign Cam Newton. I don't think the Washington football team should sign Cam Newton. But I really, truly think that they should sign Robert Griffin III. Leave in the comment section you think the Washington football team's permanent starter will be this season. Will it be Taylor Heineke? Will it be Ryan Fitzpatrick when he comes back? Will it be Robert Griffin III? Will it be Cam Newton? Or will it be somebody else? Leave your answer in the comment section. But that was definitely not the only news in the NFL this week. Okay, the Buccaneers, everybody. Thursday Night Football, everybody. First game of the season. Oh, great game. It was a great game to watch. One of the best games of week 1. Okay, probably the Ravens-Raiders game is probably the best game of week 1. Both primetime games, both great games. One on a game-winning field goal. Cowboys looked good in that game, not great. Dak Prescott, okay, they threw him 58 times. Just amazing to see. Okay, Dak Prescott had an amazing game. Ezekiel Elliott, I don't know what they're doing with him. I kind of like how they didn't play him as much, but then in some situations, like, you got to start running back. You're paying $40 million a year. You kind of want to use him a little bit, okay? Just a useless area to pay a running back that much money and not even use them that much. I think Ezekiel Elliott only got 3 fantasy football points this week. It doesn't mean much in the real world things, but I don't even think he didn't even have 100 yards, okay? He didn't even have 50 yards. Ezekiel Elliott did not have a great game this week because they didn't utilize him as much. That's Mike McCarthy's decision, but what a great game that was on Thursday Night Football. The first game this season, Tampa Bay Buccaneers winning. Okay, then we go over to Buffalo, everybody. The Buffalo Bills playing the Pittsburgh Steelers. What a game that was to see. Okay, Pittsburgh Steelers, wow. Let's clap it up for the Pittsburgh Steelers, everybody. Okay, what a game that was by Ben Roethlisberger. What a game that was. Just, it wasn't even an elite game by Ben Roethlisberger. It wasn't an elite game of the Steelers. The Steelers aren't a better team than the Bills, but they surely outplayed them in that game. Juju Smith-Schuster played pretty well. That team played pretty well. Stephon Diggs did not have a great game. Josh Allen did not play like the Josh Allen we saw last season. That's all I'm trying to say here. Buffalo Bills did not look like the Buffalo Bills we saw last year. The Buffalo Bills, in my opinion, are still a better team than the Pittsburgh Steelers, but they weren't on that Sunday. Okay, maybe any other given Sunday they are, but they just got completely outplayed by the Pittsburgh Steelers. Great game plan by Mike Tomlin, but, Buffalo Bills got a couple things to work on. They got an easy matchup this week, in my opinion, against the Miami Dolphins. Talk more about that game. Schoolyard Sports, playing for NFL Gameday. But, just an interesting thing to see. Pittsburgh Steelers starting off the season 1-0. I don't think they start off the season 11-0 like they did last year. You never know, though. Starting off the season 1-0, Pittsburgh Steelers. Next game we're going to talk about the Vikings, everybody. What a terrible way to start out the season. Okay, I'm so happy that the Bengals won that game. Everyone's hating on Jamar Chase in the preseason. Oh, he sucks. He had 10 drops in the preseason, or whatever it might be. And they says, I have trouble catching the ball because it doesn't have the white stripes like in college and the college balls do. Okay, he shut up all of those critics, including me, because I wasn't very high on Jamar Chase. I didn't think they should have taken him, okay, with the 5th overall pick. Even when the preseason started, he had those struggles. I thought it was a terrible pick still. I still thought they should have taken Penei Sewell. I still might think they should have taken Penei Sewell. But he had a great game. 5 receptions, 90 yards, and a touchdown. He had a 50-yard touchdown. What a game that was, okay, by Joe Burrow and Jamar Chase. Joe Burrow, what a comeback. Okay, tore his ACL last year. Had a great first game. Evan McPherson, rookie. Had him on my fantasy football team. Drilled the game-winning field goal. Had a 50-yarder also. Great game by Evan McPherson. But that wasn't the takeaway. The takeaway was how Justin Jefferson, Minnesota Vikings, Kirk Cousins. If Kirk Cousins can't beat the Cincinnati Bengals, who had the 5th overall pick last year, who were the 5th worst team in the NFL last year, and you're supposed to be a playoff team this year, and you can't beat them, that's an issue on Kirk Cousins. Kirk Cousins was at one point the highest paid player in NFL history. That's crazy to think about. At one point, and this was only like 5 years ago, maybe even less we're talking, Kirk Cousins was the highest paid player in NFL history with a $125 million contract. Now we're talking Russell Wilson, Patrick Mahomes, these guys, Josh Allen. But just an interesting thing to think about, the Vikings absolutely got demolished. Okay, now I've been waiting for this one. The Green Bay Packers, everybody. Okay, what happened? Aaron Rodgers threw 2 interceptions. People saying, Aaron Rodgers threw the game because he wants to leave the team. I don't think he threw that game. I think he just played terrible. Devontae Adams did not play well because Aaron Rodgers did not play well. Aaron Jones didn't play well because Aaron Rodgers didn't play well. My takeaway from that game is Green Bay runs on Aaron. Aaron Rodgers, everybody. Okay, when Aaron Rodgers struggles, the team struggles. Aaron Rodgers starts struggling, the defense struggles. Aaron Rodgers starts struggling, Aaron Jones struggles. Aaron Rodgers starts struggling, obviously Devontae Adams, Marcus Valdes-Scantling, and Alan Lazard all start to struggle. That's my takeaway from that game. What a game by Jameis Winston. 5 touchdowns, barely even had 100 yards, if he even did. Okay, they put Jordan Love in the game at the end, the Green Bay Packers. Just a crazy thing. Okay, Green Bay Packers, I did not expect them to lose 38-3. I thought maybe they would have won 38-3 against the New Orleans Saints. Oh, no. What a game by the New Orleans Saints. But my takeaway is Green Bay runs on Aaron, everybody. Aaron Rodgers. Okay, that's about for the headlines this week. Leave your thoughts in the comment section. Now, Schoolyard Sports NFL Game Day, everybody. The second week of the NFL season. Okay, we didn't do Schoolyard Sports NFL Game Day last year until week 2. We did last week. We went 6-4, everybody. We're going to get that perfect record this week. Let's hop into it. First game, Bengals versus Bears. I'm not going to pick the Giants Washington football team Thursday night football game, okay? Because it could be me as a Giants fan, it's just a tough game to pick right now. It's not a great game right now. Taylor Heineke being the starting quarterback of the team with Giants losing 27-7 last week against the Denver Broncos. Just a terrible thing to see as a Giants fan. But we're not going to pick that game. First game we're going to pick this week, Bengals versus Bears, everybody. And give me Cincinnati. Oh, I think you're saying, why? The Bears, they got blown out last week. Okay, you could still say, the Bengals were a terrible team in the NFL last year. Yeah, but we all say the Vikings are better than the Bears. Who did the Bengals beat this week? The Bengals beat the Vikings this week, everybody. Okay, and we always just assume, or we're assuming this season, that the Vikings are better than the Bears. They have a better defense. They have a better running attack than the Bears, obviously, with Dalvin Cook. They obviously have a better quarterback than the Bears. That could be up in the air when Justin Fields start playing. Because I think by the end of this week or by halftime of this game, Justin Fields will be the starting quarterback of the Chicago Bears team. But for right now, I'm taking the Cincinnati Bengals in this game. Call me crazy. I'm taking the Cincinnati Bengals. Next game, Rams versus Colts, everybody. Give me the Rams. Okay, tough 2 first games for the Indianapolis Colts. Both were at home. They played the Seahawks last week. It was at home, tough game against the Seattle Seahawks. This isn't going to be a top 10 team in the NFL this year. I really wish Jacob Eason was the starting quarterback of this team, but I know that won't happen. I'm taking the Rams in this game. Matthew Stafford looked like he could win MVP this season. That's what it looked like on Sunday night. He looked like he could break the passing yard record this season. It looked like that. I'm taking the Los Angeles Rams in this one. Close. Bills, Dolphins, everybody. All right, I gave a little bit of sneak peek in it. I'm taking the Bills heavy. I'm taking the Bills big in this one. The Bills are angry, everybody. You don't think Stephon Diggs is angry after losing to the Pittsburgh Steelers? You don't think Josh Allen's angry after losing to the Pittsburgh Steelers, who they demolished last season? Oh, he is. And Tua Tagovailoa, they won by 1 point against the New England Patriots last week. Tua Tagovailoa, he threw a terrible interception late in the game. He was lucky Mac Jones was a rookie quarterback, or else that game would have been done in a wrap. Patriots would have won that game, but Patriots couldn't convert. Lost by 1 point. Won by 1 point. The Miami Dolphins, they're not going to win this week. They're going to lose big, 38-14. Give me Buffalo, everybody. Now, Cardinals, Vikings, everybody. I'm taking the Cardinals in this one. The Minnesota Vikings are going to start out 0-2 for the second straight season. Kirk Cousins, not going to have a great season this year. Kyler Murray has a chance to be MVP, has a chance to be Offensive Player of the Year. I'm taking the Cardinals in this one, but close. Titans, Seahawks, everybody. That we saw the Titans get demolished last week. We saw Derrick Henry play terrible. We saw Taylor Lewan, my Michigan guy, play terrible. We saw the rest of the offensive line play terrible. We saw Ryan Tannehill play terrible. We saw the defense play terrible. And with the Seahawks, we saw Russell Wilson play great. The defense show out. Tyler Lockett played great. And the running game be effective. This is the first home game in 2 years with fans. The Seattle Seahawks, potentially the loudest stadium in the NFL. Oh, I'm taking the Seattle Seahawks in this one. Not just close. Give me the Seahawks. 45-10, everybody. You can call me crazy, but the Seahawks are better than the Cardinals. And the Cardinals absolutely crushed the Tennessee Titans last week. No debate about it in my mind. I'm taking the Seahawks in this one over the Titans. Big. Next game and the last game. Chiefs or Ravens, everybody. Okay, Lamar Jackson has never beat Patrick Mahomes in his career, and he still won't. He's not going to beat Patrick Mahomes in this game. Chiefs are going to win this game, and they're going to blow him out of the water. We saw the Ravens lose to the Raiders last week. Choke that game. Ravens are going to start at 0-2 for the first time. Lamar Jackson's career as a starting quarterback. They are. Give me the Chiefs in this one. That's about for Schoolyard Sports. Lane Frick at NFL Game Day. Leave your thoughts in the comment section. Now, top 5, everybody. This week's top 5 is my top 5 Heisman candidates for college football after week 2, everybody. Since only week 2, but it's the Heisman Trophy, everybody. Let's hop into it. Number 5, Desmond Ridder, quarterback. Cincinnati, everybody. Okay, I am so high in the Cincinnati team. I had them number 4 in my AP Top 25 poll last week. I'm putting them number 4 in my Schoolyard Sports Top 25 again this week. Desmond Ridder is the 5th best Heisman candidate as of right now. He will be a Heisman finalist, in my opinion, when it comes to New York. At the end of the college football season, near the end of the college football season, I think there's a chance we see Cincinnati in the college football playoff this year. And I think there's a chance we see Desmond Ridder in New York for the Heisman Trophy presentation this year, whether he's winning it or whether he isn't. Number 5, Desmond Ridder. Number 4, Michigan running back Blake Corum, everybody. You can say, oh, that's a biased pick. You love Michigan. Blake Corum is the most all-purpose yards in all of college football right now. Let me say that again. The most combined all-purpose yards in all of college football. More than every single other player. I saw Blake Corum at Michigan this week. I went to the Michigan-Washington game. Michigan ran the ball 56 times. Blake Corum was amazing in that game. Maybe the fastest player, maybe the fastest running back in the country. That's Blake Corum, everybody. Number 4, Blake Corum, running back Michigan. Number 3, Matt Corral, everybody. Quarterback Ole Miss. Matt Corral's been great to start the season. They got a bit of a trap game this week against Tulane, but Matt Corral's been great so far this season. Going up against Louisville, going against Austin Peay, two not so great teams. So they're going to get a real test this week in Tulane, and then the next week after that, Alabama. I'm excited to see how Matt Corral does in those 2 games. Matt Corral, 3rd best Heisman candidate so far. Number 2. All right, here's where we're getting to the real people who have a chance of winning the Heisman. Number 2, Spencer Rattler. I had him at number 1 starting the season. Not anymore, everybody. Spencer Rattler is the 2nd best player in college football right now. Okay, or let's say he's the best. I'm sticking with my opinion that he's the best player in college football. But right now, he is the 2nd best odds to win that, in my opinion. He's the 2nd best odds to win the Heisman Trophy. 2nd on my list, my Heisman Trophy finalist so far. 2, Spencer Rattler. Number 1, Alabama quarterback Bryce Young, everybody. Bryce Young, an amazing player. Started his own podcast this week. That's amazing. Bryce Young, just a great quarterback for Alabama, everybody. That is Bryce Young. Bryce Young showed out against Miami, a ranked team. Then he goes against Mercer, has another great game. Bryce Young, he's going to play against Florida this week. I'm really excited to see how he does in that game. I'm excited to see how Matt Corral does against Tulane and Alabama in the next 2 weeks. But Bryce Young is the top of my Heisman Trophy odds right now. Bryce Young. That's about for top 5 this week. Leave your thoughts in the comment section. Now, did you know, everybody? This week's Did You Know? It's a good one. Okay, did you know that the U.S. Open, where Daniil Medvedev just won the U.S. Open for 2021 over Novak Djokovic, do you know that the U.S. Open uses approximately 70,000 tennis balls per tournament? Okay, every single year the U.S. Open runs through 70,000 tennis balls. I read that Wimbledon runs through 42,000. But the U.S. Open runs through 70,000 tennis balls. That's just an amazing thing to think about, because you gotta realize every single match, almost every single point, is used as a new ball. It's a crazy thing to think about. Did you know that? Leave that in the comment section. That's about for Did You Know this week. Now, LVP, everybody. This week's MVP is the Rams, everybody. Okay, we saw Matthew Stafford have a great first game at the Los Angeles Rams. Okay, we saw Jared Goff struggle a little bit. Last 2 minutes of the Lions game, he came back, played pretty well. But just great game for the Los Angeles Rams. Yeah, I know by week 3 I'll be saying the Rams are going to win the Super Bowl pretty much. The Rams, blew me away in that first game against the Chicago Bears. Yes, just the Chicago Bears. That's why I'm not hopping fully on the bandwagon train. The Los Angeles Rams right now. The Los Angeles Rams are the MVP of this week for Schoolyard Sports. Now, LVP, everybody. Here's why I'm excited. LVP this week is the Ohio State Buckeyes. I am so happy to say that right now. Lost to Oregon. I was ecstatic when I saw C.J. Stroud lose that game. When I saw C.J. Stroud throw that interception. What a game that was by Oregon. Okay, I didn't think Oregon would win that game. I saw them struggle in week 1 against Fresno State. And then you got Kayvon Thibodeau out for this game, their best player on the whole entire team. And now you got Justin Fuller for the rest of the season, but that's besides the point. But Oregon went into Columbus, everybody, and they shocked us all, shocked the world, and beat Ohio State. I was rooting for Oregon, but I didn't think they'd win. What a game by the Oregon Ducks. I am so happy to say that Michigan football, for the first time in what seems like forever, has a better record than the Ohio State Buckeyes. Yes, you heard that right. Michigan football, 2-0. Ohio State Buckeyes, 1-1. That's about for MVP of this week. I am so happy that the Ohio State Buckeyes lost this week. They're easily MVP this week, and the Los Angeles Rams are easily MVP this week. Leave your thoughts in the comment section. Now, you know when you really want to quit something right away, but then you can't really quit it. You kind of have to stick it out for a little bit, but you just really want to quit right away. Yeah, that's Urban Meyer in the Jacksonville Jaguars right now. Urban Meyer for sure wants to just, all the players don't like Urban Meyer right now. I've read, some players don't like his coaching styles, which I wouldn't either. It's Urban Meyer, everybody. But Urban Meyer, it's not a great fit in Jacksonville. It looks like we're going to say, week 10, end of the season, he's going to be out as the head coach of this team. Okay, they looked horrendous in week 1 against the Jacksonville Jaguars. And it wasn't just Trevor Lawrence. Trevor Lawrence showed flashes, played pretty well, had a great throw. Third down, I think it was, to the end zone. Great throw. He had 3 touchdowns, 3 interceptions. First 3 interception game of his career. Was the first time in his career where he lost a regular season game. Okay, you heard that right. In high school, he never lost a regular season game. College, he never lost a regular season game. So his first ever loss in a regular season game was this week against the Houston Texans. Just wasn't a great game by the Jacksonville Jaguars at all. It didn't look like a great game plan. Urban Meyer, now you see the USC job opening up. I'll talk more about top candidates for the USC job right now, and I'll give a sneak peek of it right now. Urban Meyer's at the top of that list, everybody, for the USC job. He's my top candidate, I think, for that USC job, because if the USC job was available last offseason, I can guarantee you he would have taken it. He didn't want to go to Texas. He maybe wanted to go to USC. Okay, if they fire Clay Helton last offseason, which they did this week, they would have hired Urban Meyer, everybody. They would have. Okay, Urban Meyer would have taken that job, in my opinion. Just a crazy, interesting thing to think about. Okay, Urban Meyer, it doesn't look great in Jacksonville. It doesn't look like there's going to be so many sunny days in Jacksonville this season, everybody. That's about from my Meyer Spotlight this week. Leave your thoughts in the comment section. Now, College Football Showcase here, everybody. Okay, we got a lot of news in College Football Showcase. We're going to have our Week 2 Schoolyard Sports Lane Frick Top 25. I already gave a sneak peek. Cincinnati is number 4 right now, like they were last week. Alabama will be number 1. But let's hop in to the news of college football, everybody. Okay, my Michigan Wolverines 31-10 against the Washington Huskies. What a game that was. What a great game it was to be back in the Big House. 108,345 fans. You heard that right. The largest football or any stadium in the world is the Big House. And what a game that was. Okay, second game in 2 years where we had 100,000 fans. Just great to be back in the Big House, winning 31-10. Second time ever wearing all blue uniforms. It was amazing. Everybody was wearing maize in the stadium. Okay, everybody was wearing yellow. What a game that was. By the Michigan Wolverines. Blake Corum, like I said, had a great game. Ran the ball 56 times. I don't care that Cade McNamara had a QBR of 18. It's kind of tough to have a QBR of 18 unless you throw the ball into the dirt every play. Even if you throw the ball into the dirt every play, I read you have a QBR for 36. But Cade McNamara didn't have his finest game. Only threw the ball 10 times. But what a game it was on the ground. What a game plan by Josh Gass. Now, when you're watching the game, it's a little bit tough to see you run the ball. Team run the ball 56 times, but it worked out in the end. I won't ever complain about a 31-10 win, 21-point win against a really good team in Washington. Okay, you can say, Washington lost to Montana last week, but Washington is a good team, everybody. They still are a very good team. Washington. That's all I'm trying to say. Michigan had a great win against Washington. Now, Oregon, Ohio State, we kind of talked about a little bit. Just amazing to see Oregon beat Ohio State. Great game by Anthony Brown. Justin Flowe's going to be out for the rest of the season, but Kayvon Thibodeau's coming back this week. Just an amazing thing to see, Oregon beating Ohio State. Now, that's what I geared up to talk about. Clay Helton is out as USC's head coach. Should have made the move 2 off seasons ago. Not last off season, the off season before. Okay, because you had a freshman quarterback coming off of freshman season, Keaton Slovis, and he did a pretty good season, but Keaton Slovis is gearing off for another great season. That's when you fire a head coach, or that's because I thought that was a good time to fire Clay Helton because, you want to build more on Keaton Slovis. I didn't think Clay Helton could build more on Keaton Slovis. And Keaton Slovis looked the same every single year he's been in college since his freshman year. That's why I think they should have fired Clay Helton. He's in his junior year right now, Keaton Slovis. But they should have fired Clay Helton 2 offseasons ago. And now it's just not a great time. You got Domani Jackson, who's at Michigan this week, number 3 player in the country, currently committed to USC, was recruited by Clay Helton. Doesn't look like he's going to be going to USC anymore. Was decked out in Michigan gear this week, okay, with Michigan commit Will Johnson. Looks like he's going to be flipping to my Michigan Wolverines, which is a great thing to see. Number 3 player in the country, Domani Jackson, looking like he's going to decommit from the UFC Trojans and go over to my Michigan Wolverines. That is Domani Jackson. Now, Haynes King and Texas A&M, everybody. What was that? All right, he's going to be out 6 weeks, pretty much going to be out for the rest of the season. By the time he gets back, it's probably just going to be Zach Calzada as the starting quarterback of this team. Okay, Texas A&M gearing up for a great season, going to be a top 5 team, going to make the college football playoff. Last year was the year you were going to make the college football playoff. This year, you have no shot. Okay, let me guarantee it right now. You have absolutely no chance of making the college football playoff this year, everybody. Bookmark it. Texas A&M has no chance. No chance. Absolutely no chance to make the college football playoff this year. Didn't look great against Colorado. If you can only beat Colorado by 3 points, you're not a playoff team. You're not even a top 5 team, barely even top 10. Okay? Haynes King is going to be out for a long time. Zach Calzada did not look great. Jimbo Fisher looks like he's not going to have the team ready to make the college football playoff this year. They're not going to beat Alabama in 2 weeks in College Station. 3 weeks, whatever it might be. They're not going to beat them in week 5. They just are, okay? This is the year where people said they might have. But Haynes King didn't look great in week 1. He's not going to be back for that game even. Okay, just interesting thing to think about. Texas A&M not going to have a great season like we all thought they would. Now, let's do our week 2 top 25 Schoolyard Sports, so let's hop into it. Number 1, Alabama. Number 2, Georgia. 3, Oklahoma. 4, Cincinnati. 5, Clemson. 6, Oregon. 7, Iowa. 8, Ohio State. 9, Texas A&M. 10, Florida. 11, Notre Dame. 12, UCLA. 13, Penn State. 14, Iowa State. 15, Virginia Tech, 16 North Carolina, 17 Coastal Carolina, 18 Auburn, 19 Wisconsin, 20 Ole Miss, 21 UCF, 22 my Michigan Wolverines, 23 Miami, 24 Arkansas, and 25 Texas, everybody. Okay, let's break it down a little bit here. Texas, what a terrible, horrendous game. I haven't broken this down yet. What a horrendous game they had against Arkansas. Okay, that's why I'm ranking Arkansas 1 spot ahead of them, because they deserve to be. Arkansas, a really, really good team, everybody. Okay, had a great week 1 game against Rice, and then they go against Texas, and you're thinking, oh, Texas is going to win this game. They're going to blow them out of the water. No. Arkansas blew Texas out of the water. What it looks like with Hudson Card and Casey Thompson, it looks like, we got a toss-up here. Texas got a toss-up here. Who do we start a quarterback? Hey, let's just go with Hudson Card. Now we got Casey Thompson starting at quarterback this week. Not a great decision by Steve Sarkisian. It really did. They were neck and neck in preseason camp, fall camp. It didn't look like they had a surefire starting quarterback. And they just rolled with Hudson Card, which obviously is the wrong decision. Okay, they had a rank to win against Louisiana week 1, but then they just collapsed last week. It should have been Casey Thompson, the starter from the beginning. If you're going to start Casey Thompson 2 weeks into the season, you should have just started from the beginning. That's all I'm trying to say here. Texas is the 25th best team in the country, barely even ranked. And my one honorable mention I forgot to say is Nevada, everybody. I still got Alabama at number 1. I'm still rocking with Cincinnati at number 4. I'm putting Oregon over Iowa right now because Iowa State didn't look like a great team in week 1, and then they surely did not look like a good team in week 2 against Iowa. So I'm putting Iowa right now at number 7. Great win by Oregon at number 6. Okay, Notre Dame moving down to 11. Okay, rightfully so. Maybe they could be moved down even more. Barely beat Florida State. Barely beat Toledo. They had to get a last-minute drive to beat the Toledo Rockets, everybody. I doubt you even knew their mascot name was Rockets. Okay, that's all I'm trying to say here. They had beat Florida State and Toledo by a combined 6 points. Florida State lost to Jacksonville State this week, everybody. I would say, oh, Florida State's a good team. It was fine that Notre Dame played them close. I thought that. Until they lost to Jacksonville State this week. That's about for my Schoolyard Sports Landry top 25. We still got the picks for the week coming up, my game of the week, and then my one lock of the week. Stay tuned. Now, my College Football Showcase picks of the week. Okay, I'm going to give my lock of the week, and then I'm going to give pretty much the 2 best games of the week, Alabama, Florida, and then Auburn, Penn State. Let's all into it, everybody. My lock of the week is Virginia Tech +3 against West Virginia. In week 1, my lock of the week pretty much was Maryland +3 against West Virginia, and Maryland won that game. Now I'm taking Virginia Tech, who has a ranked win over a top 10 team at the time, North Carolina +3. Against West Virginia. I think it happens. Braxton Burmeister is going to play great in this game. I have no idea why. No clue why. West Virginia's favored in this game, and they shouldn't be. Virginia Tech's going to win this game. Maybe fairly big, okay? Definitely won't lose by 3, okay? +3, I'm taking Virginia Tech right now against West Virginia. That's my lock of the week. Now, my sneaky game of the week, where I think, they could be vulnerable in this game. It's just an interesting thing to think about. I still do think they win, but I think they're going to give them fits. And I predicted them to give another team fits this season. I think Tulane was going to give Oklahoma fits this season, and they did. Only lost by 5 points in week 1 against Oklahoma. I don't think they beat Ole Miss this week, even though Oklahoma's a better team than Ole Miss. I really don't. Oklahoma kind of choked at the end of the game. Ole Miss's defense is better than past Ole Miss's defense. Glenn Kiffin's a great coach. Going to have the team ready. Going to have Matt Corral, maybe the best quarterback Ole Miss has had in the past 5-10 years, whatever it might be. Better than Jordan Tomlin, maybe better than Bo Wallace. Never know. Matt Corral had a great game last week. Great game past 2 weeks. Maybe one of the best quarterbacks in college football. The third best quarterback in college football so far this season has been Matt Corral. So I'm taking Ole Miss this one. But Tulane's going to give them fits, everybody. It's going to be a close game. Tulane's got a great quarterback. Okay, just an interesting thing to think about. Okay, Tulane going to play Ole Miss this week. Tulane's already looked like a great team. Okay, they had a great week 2 win, even though the week 1 loss against Oklahoma. But that's Oklahoma, everybody. Tulane, if they win out, they have a chance to make a New Year's Six Bowl. That's crazy to think about. That's about my sneaky game of the week. Now, let's move to the games of the week. It's only 2 games. The first game, Alabama, Florida. Florida's starting the wrong quarterback. It should be Anthony Richardson. But they're starting Emory Jones. Anthony Richardson, if he was the starting quarterback of the team, he could have a chance to win the Heisman. Okay, we're talking about Anthony Richardson, who's 245 pounds, who can run the ball like crazy and throw the ball like crazy. I think he's had 100 rushing yards and 100 passing yards in back-to-back weeks. Anthony Richardson should be the starting quarterback of the team, not Emory Jones. But they're starting Emory Jones. That's why I think they lose this game. Not the only reason why. But Alabama's going to win this game, maybe even blow them out of the water. I'm taking Alabama this one. Now, the game of the week, everybody. Auburn, Penn State. Go Tigers. Give me all Auburn in this one. Auburn is going to win this game. Go Tigers, everybody. Give me all Auburn in this one. Not much more explaining to do on this game. It's going to be a whiteout in Happy Valley, everybody. But I don't care. I'm taking the Auburn Tigers. You don't mess with the SEC, not even if they're going to you. I'm taking Auburn in this one. No debate about it. That's about for College Football Showcase this week. Leave your thoughts in the comment section. Now at the buzzer. This week's at the buzzer is my top 3 hot takes from week 1. So I'm going to give 3 hot take predictions after week 1. Let's hop into it. The Bengals, the Cincinnati Bengals, will get 10 wins this season. Call me crazy, you can. But I think the Cincinnati Bengals get 10 wins this season. Not because of only Joe Burrow. It's going to be because of Jamar Chase. It's going to be because of Tyler Boyd. It's maybe even part of Evan McPherson's job as kicker. Could have a great season as kicker this year. Can't believe I've talked about one kicker so much in this episode. But Evan McPherson had a great game in week 1. Again, the game winner. But the Bengals look great in week 1 against the Minnesota Vikings. Defense looked good. Had a great first fumble. You can say, it wasn't a fumble by the Vikings. I'm taking the Bengals to have 10 wins this season. You can call me crazy, y'all. That's my number 1 hot take for the season. Number 2, Trevor Lawrence will throw 20 picks. See, people were saying, he's taking the Peyton Manning rookie comparison way too far. He's going to throw 20 picks this season, and he's going to have a great NFL career. And that might actually happen. Trevor Lawrence will throw 20 picks this season, not because of him, because of Urban Meyer's horrendous system. He's going to be the USC coach next season, Urban Meyer, in my opinion. He has a chance to be the USC coach next season. I think USC is going to go hard for him. I think Urban Meyer's going to want to leave the NFL this year, or maybe leave coaching all and for all for the second time. I'm taking it for the third time. Actually, left Florida, left Ohio State, and now he's going to leave the Jaguars maybe after the season. Trevor Lawrence will throw 20 picks this season. That's my second hot take. Now, my last hot take of the day, my last take on At the Buzzer this week. The Dolphins don't get 10 wins this season. They might not even get 9. I looked at their schedule. I don't see 10 easy wins on that schedule. I don't even see 10 wins on that schedule. That's what I'm saying. The Miami Dolphins won't get 10 wins this season. You can look at the Miami Dolphins schedule and then come back. Then dispute me on it. But the Miami Dolphins, in my opinion, don't get 10 wins this season. That's about for At the Buzz this week. Leave your thoughts in the comment section. Now, question of the day, everybody. This week's question is best for last. Was it the right move by USC to fire Clay Helton? In my opinion, it was. Maybe just not. Maybe they should have done it a lot sooner. But they got it done. They fired Clay Helton, because you got Domani Jackson, a recruit coming in. Maybe you should have done it after Domani Jackson was signed to USC, but that's kind of worst move to make. Making your recruit mad after re-signing with you if they're enrolling. But just an interesting thing to think about. Clay Helton is out as the USC coach. Was it the right move for the USC to fire? Leave your answer in the comment section. That's about the question this week. That's about for Schoolyard Sports and Land Frank, episode 48. Thank you for tuning in. Follow Schoolyard Sports on Instagram at Schoolyard Sports. Follow Schoolyard Sports on Twitter at Schoolyard Sport. Don't forget to subscribe, rate, and view for the best sports content in the world. We'll be back here next week in episode number 49. Stay tuned.